Okay, in this next demonstration, I'm going to begin to design a basic truss design known as the Warren truss with verticals. Okay, if we revert back to what I showed in the previous video, this here is the Warren truss with verticals. Okay, so the center, which is my line of symmetry, I will have two members that meet at the bottom and come up to the top. So first thing I'm going to do is create my vertical line down the center. And in order to do that, I'm going to use a sample piece of the lumber that we're using, which is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch balsa wood. So the first one is going to be centered right on my line of symmetry. And if I place this on my line of symmetry and hold it down firmly, I'm going to make sure that I trace both sides of it, and that is going to be the location for that first member. So that's what the first member is going to look like. Now, the Warren has two members that meet down at the bottom. So if I started here, it looks like my next vertical would be right here. So I'm going to place my wood right here. I'm going to worry about counting the number of squares after I draw it. So what I did here was I went centered to this line, and I'm going to count now from my line of symmetry. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over. So I'm going to go to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over. Puts me right at that line. So now I'm going to take my lumber, I'm going to place it on that line, and I know that this member, this vertical member, is going to be symmetrical to this vertical member. Okay? Now, I'm going to have to put my cross members in here to support these vertical members. So if I revert back to my sample of choices here, my choices 1 through 4, I believe I'm going to want to do a number 1. This choice right here. So I'm going to support this piece, and I'm going to come up to the top. So when I take my lumber, in order to make it match choice number 1, I'm going to place this here like this so that it's resting up against the side of that vertical member, and I'm off to the left of my line of symmetry vertical member. So it's going to look like this. Okay? And I'm going to want to repeat this process on the other side of the line of symmetry. So I place this here like so. Take your time, verify the fact that you're on the side to the top, just like I was on the other cross member. And again, trace both sides. So far, you can see how symmetrical this is coming out to be. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is place another vertical just to the left of the inside here, just to the left of that angled member. Repeat the process over here on the left side. Okay. And now, in the Warren truss, these V's, okay, it's like a zigzag format. So since these are coming down, on this one I'm going to go up into this angle here. So I'm going to repeat the process, but I'm also going to make sure that this end of the member is against this vertical and the top is against the top member. So hold it down firmly, and again, both sides must be traced. And I'm going to repeat that process over here, again, making sure that I place it in the right spot. Okay. Another good idea would be to number the members so that when you start to cut wood and place them in place, that everything is labeled and you know exactly which member belongs where. So it's a relatively short period of time just to number these. We'll call this number 1, the bottom one number 2, 3, 4, and then you can simply go from left to right to finish that off. So I'm going to do that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So as I cut the wood, I will also number the wood, and therefore everything will have an assigned position on the design. So in the next video, I'll show you how to mount the drawing to the foam board, put the wax paper over it, and begin to construct.